Have you ever had one of those nights, where you're just staring up at the ceiling and that question hits you? What's the point of all this? What am I even doing here? It's such a human question, and it can feel pretty heavy. Well, you're not alone. The great poet Walt Whitman wrestled with that exact feeling in this short but wow, incredibly powerful poem. So let's get into it and really break down Oh Me, Oh Life. And this is it. This is the heart of the whole thing. Whitman calls the question so sad, recurring. He gets that this isn't some one-time teenage angst thing. No, this is a question that comes back again and again throughout our lives. And he just nails the feeling. With everything going on in the world, what good am I? What's the point of my one little life? Okay, so before he gives us this amazing answer, Whitman does something really smart. He makes us feel the full, crushing weight of that question. He lays out what I like to call a catalog of despair. Basically, a list of all the reasons you might feel completely hopeless. Let's take a look. First, he looks outward at the world. And yeah, it's not a pretty picture. He sees endless trains of the faithless and cities filled with the foolish. I mean, doesn't that sound familiar? It's that exact feeling you get scrolling through your phone or watching the news and just thinking, man, this world is a mess. But then, and this is where it gets so real, he turns that judgment right back on himself. He talks about constantly blaming himself, asking, who's more foolish and faithless than me? And you've got to understand, this was real for him. Whitman struggled with feeling like a failure for a long time. It's this brutal honesty about his own flaws that makes the poem just hit so hard. He's not some wise guru looking down on us. He's right there in the mud with us. Next, he hits on that deep, nagging frustration, futility, the feeling that you're putting in all this work, all this effort, for what? For the poor results of all. He sees these plodding crowds, and you can just feel that sense of being another faceless person stuck in a meaningless daily grind. And he wraps up this spiral of despair with maybe the biggest fear of all, that we're just wasting our time. He talks about the empty and useless years, but the key word here is intertwined. He feels tangled up in it all, trapped in a life that feels pointless. So with all of this weighing him down, he asks the question. Okay, so we're at rock bottom here, right? He's laid out this incredibly bleak picture, and then the whole poem just turns on a dime. It shifts from this heavy, dark question to an answer that's so powerful because it's so incredibly simple. That's it, just one word, answer. I mean, think about the confidence in that. After that whole long list of everything wrong with the world and himself, he just clears the air with this one word. It forces you to lean in and listen. And here's the first part of it, that you are here. Just let that sink in. It's so simple, it's almost shocking. The solution to feeling worthless isn't to become famous or rich or successful. The starting point for all meaning, according to Whitman, is a simple, undeniable fact that you exist. And he builds on that. It's not just that you're a body taking up space, it's that life exists and identity. You are a conscious being. You have your own unique thoughts, your own feelings, your own way of seeing the world that has never existed before and will never exist again. That, in and of itself, is valuable. And this is where he gives us this incredible metaphor to frame the whole idea, that the powerful play goes on. He's asking us to imagine all of human existence, all of history, all of life, as this grand, epic stage play. It's got drama, comedy, tragedy, the whole shebang. It was going long before we got here, and it'll keep going long after we're gone. So if life is this powerful play, what's our role in it? Where do we fit in? This is where Whitman brings it all home with his final and most empowering piece of the puzzle. And here it is. This is the line that changes everything, and you may contribute a verse. Notice the word he uses, may, not must, not should. You may. It's an invitation. It's an opportunity. You have been given a chance to add your own line to the great story of humanity. So what does it really mean to contribute a verse? Well, it's everything. It's your unique experiences, your actions, your kindness, your art, your relationships. All of it adds a line to the epic poem of human life. And it doesn't have to be some grand sweeping sonnet. A single, honest word can be just as powerful. So here's the bottom line, the big takeaway. You don't have to earn your right to be here. You don't need to wait for someone to tell you you're worthy. The very fact that you exist is your permission slip to be a part of the powerful play. Your existence is your invitation. And what's amazing is how this idea has stood the test of time. I mean, it was first published way back in 1892 as this kind of quiet, personal thought in his book Leaves of Grass. But now, in the 21st century, many of us probably first heard these words in an Apple commercial, where it became this huge anthem for creativity. So yeah, the context has totally shifted, right? It went from a private meditation to a very public call to action. But the reason it was chosen, the reason it still gives us chills, is because that core message speaks to a universal truth. It hits that deep human need to feel like we matter. So to bring it all together, that feeling of despair is real. The questions are valid, but they aren't the end of the story. The powerful play of life, with all its messiness and beauty and failure and joy, it goes on. And your part in it, your unique verse, is still waiting to be written. And that leaves us with one final, personal question. Whitman's poem gives us the answer to why our life matters, but it leaves the what we're going to do with it, entirely up to us. So I'll leave you with that to think about. What will your verse be?